Inazuma. So many things have happened since... Yeah, we've done so... Huh? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little. Time to go.
Huh? So you don't... Seems like I've missed...
At the very least, you should make... No, wait! Even when you've got the right person, you...
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaeda? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around... Well, one thing's for sure. No way, right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go... Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean, yeah, maybe a little. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look...
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the...
Oh, so you...
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's... Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, he was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryou. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier.
Just a little while ago, this would have been thank you. Guess we'll go pay a visit.
All right then. I'll just...
Huh?
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. We invited Mr. Kaedahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the show. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been the Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the regarding the history of the Kaedahara clan. I trust that, in short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for but there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Considering Mr. Kaedahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be in the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not—
This is a true honor. I am delighted. However, would I be correct to assume that this...
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. With the Kaedahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedaharas you will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedahara. And the art—
I sense some hesitation in your word. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious
rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much—
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the— Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the—
What? But that doesn't—
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am But perhaps if the shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this
is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious—
In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then.
Yikes!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family. Based on techniques originally developed, over time these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle.
All the more reason to watch your back!
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some—
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will first join the traveler in investigating the one who attacked—
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji— anyone around here has been—
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedahara.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Mr. Kaedahara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many— Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want.
Millions? Of mora?
Please, accept my thanks for looking—
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our— Sorry, I got a little off topic, but I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to
Then let's put that connection aside for now. The Tenryou Commission had very few leads.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around. It would cause me great grief to see someone become— For the poor victim, this would be a—
Don't worry, we'll find—
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedahara.
You flatter me. Truth be told—
You are much too humble. Don't worry, Oh, actually, there was— Let me tell you about it, Justin.
Sure. During times like—
All right then. Recently, one of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The—
Amanoma!
Right. Yuya is the nephew. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is—
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me.
Sure, can't hurt.
Thank you, Ryuji.
Sounds good.
If it...
Yes. The Kaedahara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the... Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. As an example, the Amenoma art, stride. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in. As for the art of the Kaedahara clan, I believe it...
That's right. Ishin art strives for only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their... You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. My actions are... But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit, we hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that...
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left. But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance.
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. After that, yes. Strange, isn't it?
Do you have any thoughts?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging. But as always, he is extraordinarily talented.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may, based on the evidence we have gathered so far.
What? No. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done. Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, but with that said, I also cannot know what course of action he might be. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one...
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men... Let's pay a visit to...
I'm very sorry, but my husband has gone missing and...
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the...
I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
I'm afraid we don't have it. With this in mind, can we...
For example, Paimon...
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself. Everything was fine when we first got married.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying... Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum.
Whoa!
And that...
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a... You must understand, I never would have dreamed of... After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen? Had I not indulged his bad habits? And I also don't know if he had... The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught...
I see. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato.
At first, I assumed but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so... I don't know. He just perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the Even though I'm still a little mad at him. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know...
Please don't get upset. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, but the information we gathered from the other side suggests...
A little confusing.
Let's try a change of scenery. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we...
Thank you so much.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how... Do you have any thoughts?
Well... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. However, in this case, only one of the parties would have started the fire. If this is indeed what happened, one fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya, Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker. Namely that...
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone?
Let's keep going. So if we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs.
Okay, but...
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. Wait, I hear something ominous.
Oh! This must be another one of those... As sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it to good use when we were...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now. But it felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of... We should remain vigilant.
So it's an under...
The force is the source of the Tatarigami energy has long since... Judging from the concentration...
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around...
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told... But most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to that Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami...
So what should we do?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look in. If we don't open this door, we can move no You needn't worry. Both of us have...
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't... It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse.
That was too scary! Paimon was...
All we can do now is keep searching in the direct two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. If not, quiet your mind and focus on what you said. From this point, the main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Time to clean up! Leave it all to me.
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of... Well, According to this letter, a conflict arose. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight.
So...
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point. Yes, right now, if Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, felt for a practitioner of the martial arts. The easiest desire... All the clues that at first seemed disparate and I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct...
Wait! You figured it out.
I believe so. But it's something of an... On with the search. We must stay...
Why here?
I'm not sure. But on closer Show yourself!
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So what's your problem, huh?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it... Whoa!
Tatarigami energy often lodges its... The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, or rather, as a means to occupy Amenoma Yuya.
You're sharper than I... Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan. You should be able to guess.
I presume it has something to do with...
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's... He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could... And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the great... In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most...
So... sword?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began... I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
So Amenoma Yuya would tell me what happens to...
My hosts? Who cares what... When they got tired or injured or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line.
You're...
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my... At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no... Now.
Wind Strider!
Wrap up the flame! I must leave no stone unturned, as a dutiful maid would. Nice and spicy! Eat this! Motion to compel!
Do not stand.
Your bluff's fooling no...
Lost. I can never lose, even if you defeat me here. Though he is but a puppet that can be the end result is the same. I will and even if I were to lose my physique by any means necessary,
Your fighting style. It is, but from your movements, I sense only hatred.
Really? You can tell...
As I've mentioned before, the form... Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to you.
Are you trying to claim that I am on his deathbed? He passed to me all of... In that regard.
Because all of that, I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remember...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his Well, That brings me to my second. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth, but the way I see it, what began as an...
What would you know about any of this?
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But even if you were to sever that divine light, sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your... How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art?
Silence! I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my
And you should face...
Easy for you to say. Facing reality, I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitate. It is pointless to argue further. Descendant.
How stubbornly you stick. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge...
What? Surely you're not planning to agree.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemy once we have dealt with them.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, the Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak. And the power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Naga...
What?
Even if things take a turn for we have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. Now.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy. It's all right. So far, this was... I will.
What should we do next?
We find some enemy. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably has... If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony, if he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers him since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned that secret base.
All right.
What about Amenoma?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.
I trust you.
Chivalry will never die.
Leave everything on this journey to me. Wind Strider!
Let's get down to business.
One with nature! As one with wind and cloud!
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as... Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do...
Something else on...
How strange. Let's keep going.
The fairy, let's get down to business.
High. The birds call.
My blade.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading. He cannot hold out much longer.
But what would that do?
I will be careful with it. He also... he's... Time to go. As one with wind and cloud.
Are you okay? It looked like you were...
Yes.
The shine's grown a bit dimmer again.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his
True form? What are you... Is this the same blade as before?
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when it barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is I've finally figured out why you wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand. You're the only one who truly understood you.
Huh?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup! We can help!
Don't worry. It's just more of the...
Lucky day!
I'm ready!
Wind Strider! Clouds high. The birds call! Time to go.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony...
But in this too,
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, too much time has passed. My physical state is poor. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a generic... Forging and maintenance are both... This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close skill, blade, determination, and... There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been... Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient... Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami...
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I feel a great sense of regret for you. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person... You have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly... I said to him, do not...
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to... When I touched the hilt for the first time, a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. A newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, he spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Ines. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliant.
So that's what... After that, the blacksmith and...
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power... This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost... Yes. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, he seems to have calmed down.
when I look back at the past, I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill, but darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Not only did I fail to fulfill...
You are finally seeing reality.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the... But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his... So, may I ask you to...
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix!
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess...
His attitude... What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first alas, after... Nor have I ever had my fights were devoid of any noble meaning. You are a fine warrior.
Oh?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his con... You must have plenty of reasons to...
Understood. Then let's start by waking...
I see. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true, if a duel can help to set this state of affairs, I do not wish to be a mere...
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the...
Thanks for your help. Who knows how...
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim...
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Still, even if he's... Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin...
Successor of Amenoma art.
Honored to cross-blade...
It is my honor...
Wind Strider! Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Thank you, although he appears battered and broken. In your sense of savage cruelty.
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall...
I must apologize to you.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I... It is too late.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will... I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the East... I beseech you.
Yes. I too trust Mr...
Thank you. Success.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want?
I'm not sure.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thank...
A prized Ishin blade. Considering therefore... But I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the
Really?
Yes. Badly wounded. And now that Yuya is back, it seems...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the...
Yes. He said he wants to take control of...
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its...
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. I have decided...
You... But... He
Thank you. I will explain. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
His consciousness will disappear.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved only in the final moments before.
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistake. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Your quest to face the gods and trace you after everything I've seen. Perhaps these pursuits I will continue to support you from this point on.
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kama?
Oh, you're right. And it's also time...
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanome...
Wow, you should...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long... By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across... The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya.
You misunderstand.
I am aware, but I still desire...
Very well, I can understand. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of...
Great.
Where will you travel to?
As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.